And hola, everybody. Welcome. We are back after I already gave my talk. Have a great experience. I think people laughed, enjoyed. I have a victim that could witness it. But with us, we have a very dear and good amigo, my first boss in the performance testing world, my amigo Eddie Urenda. Eddie, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Performer. Should I address you as Leandro or Mr. Performer? When do you?
I've been called worse, don't worry.
Well, okay, well, fair enough.
No, and slight misunderstanding, senor, because
Senor, that's right. That's right. Senor Performer.
I have been requested to change it to Don Performo, which also has a
Oh,
good ring to it.
reverence,
Let's see.
more reverence.
I
With the
think I need
Don.
to grow
Yeah,
more into that. So let's see. When all this is white and
that's right.
nothing is here,
Oh,
that's gonna be Don Performo. Amigo Eddie, welcome. Thank you very much. It's been ages since the last time we saw each other.
I know. I know.
We were everybody thinking and counting it. Probably it's over 10 years since the
Easily.
last time that we saw each other. Awesome experience. I know LA thanks to this man. I have to thank him for a lot of things, and probably I'm here right now because of you.
No,
Thank you
no,
so
no,
much.
no. You,
But before I keep praising, for the ones that want to know about you and what's the deal, why are you here? Who's Eddie? What's about you? Where you come from, or what's
Sure.
the deal?
My name is Eddie Urenda. I currently work for Hexawear Technologies. I lead the testing business in the Americas. I'm originally from Ensenada, Baja California,
See,
from Chilean and parents. So South America via Baja California, and today Los Angeles. I've been with Hexawear for the past 18 years, I think.
wow,
No, what time flies when you're having fun.
wow,
And previous to that, working at UCLA in academia for a number of years, supporting their production systems. So,
wow.
yeah.
That kind of explains a lot.
That
Now
right.
that I understand.
And so I've worn many hats today. The testing business, but I've led practices in performance.
I remember.
Previously, application performance management, and test automation in previous roles.
And that's a little, in part, why I also wanted to talk to you and to have this conversation, because you have a very good perspective into what is happening in the testing world. Probably different from the one that I have, because you are talking to customers, service provider, knowing what do they need, and I think like the first opening question would be like, what do you see that are the new requests or new requirements that you're seeing from customers?
I think the number one, both from a talent and from a service request perspective, in terms of what customers are looking for, is your ability to speak cloud. I mean,
Oh
cloud has
wow.
become a requirement. Even customers that are used to hosting their own applications, developing their own applications, are exploring how to move to the cloud. Right, whether we lift and shift our systems to the cloud, and how are those applications going to perform in the cloud, right?
Mhm.
Movement to the cloud doesn't automatically mean that your application behaves in the same way. So they're definitely requiring that both partners, providers, and talent are aware of how to make things work in the cloud. I think that's the
Interesting,
biggest
because
change.
from the perspective of what's coming in the technology, we are right now like hearing so much AI and focusing into machine learning and all these buzzwords. But you bring this cool perspective that I didn't think of. Like, feels like cloud is so to 2015 or something like that. But you're saying we're struggling.
Absolutely, and not to diminish the AI
Those
and
new
ML
things that
piece. I'm actually talking about that at the conference tomorrow. I'll put a plug in for my session. I'm talking about
spoiler
autonomous
alert.
testing. That's
I
right.
was gonna
Spoiler alert.
ask, but
Autonomous testing tomorrow at 1:45.
stay tuned.
But how do you leverage AI and ML, right, in testing? Not, and that means functional and non-functional
Hmm.
testing, right? If you're not thinking about how AI and ML are impacting the way that you do business, I don't think you're competing. I think your competitors are definitely thinking about it and using it. If your partners, providers aren't bringing these ideas to you, you should be asking them.
That's and yeah, check tomorrow. We're gonna have some intro and some descriptions on Eddie's talk. But yeah, AI is getting even at the scary point that I'm like, oh my god, I think I should get a better grip on that because confession time. I'm not that good at it. I understand it. I have even given a couple of talks around it, but like deep programmed any algorithm or anything, I have no idea. I know what is coming, where it is going to happen, but many we don't know, and we should get ahead of it, start getting prepared. But nowadays, that you say you're struggling to find people that are used.
I think that customers are there's a big talent crunch for sure. I think customers are looking for, especially in the QA space, not specific to a particular type of quality engineering. They're looking for resources that are, I wouldn't say smarter than before, but definitely have a variety of skills. One of your talk earlier spoke about the modern performance engineer being
A
a
renaissance
renaissance
person.
person, right, and a person of many talents. Customers are expecting their resources to be cloud conversant, know and keep up with the latest trends in terms of how do they leverage AI and ML in their testing. How does this all play with DevOps, right? In today's world, whoever releases quicker
Yeah,
wins, right? Whoever releases quicker and with quality wins, and you need it to survive. Everyone is a software company today.
yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest changes that we've seen is that customers that we don't normally think of, software companies, are becoming software companies, right? And we were chatting about that, when we first saw each other. That's one of the things that's changed. That traditional players that we didn't think of as software testers are now software testers, right?
It's yeah, because the first project that we worked together was a video game IT super software company. But right after, I think it was a bank, and then cereal and things that it's like really. And I was giving earlier the example of Coke or soda industry,
Mhm.
where you don't think about that. But everyone has to be up to their game being a technology company. I have heard even like in the stock market, you have these distinctions. These are financials, these are services, utilities, blah blah blah. But now everyone is start to fall into technology company, technology. Wait, is Uber a technology company or a transportation company? No, no, we're stick to technology. And that's a big leap, right?
Yeah.
And you are seeing all those requirements. But what is your opinion or perspective of the skills specific? I know cloud related, but which ones are you being demanded the most lately from customers or
I think our customers are expecting everyone to be an SDEV, right? A software development engineer and test. Having a background in, even if it's not straight compiled language development, at least scripting language development, I think is a big requirement, right? Almost as a precursor to being a good tester is having some kind of development background or at least experience with the development language to truly understand, right, the things that they're testing. So I think that's one of the biggest changes is the shift towards development and testing being more intertwined, and the expectation that a good tester has some amount of development background. Um, yeah.
it's makes me smile because I often have this argument on quality assurance community circles that we need to embrace more development. We need to understand the code and not only learn the automation tools or learn the QA best practices, but to understand what is happening in the guts of the system and the solution that we are dealing with. If we're like, "Nah, I don't know, it just it's failing, I don't know why." Well, and I think that's what you're saying. That if you can also kind of diagnose or have an idea what is happening, right?
It makes you a better engineer to have that background, and it brings more value to the types of testing that you do, especially when it comes down to root cause analysis, right? When we talk about on the performance side, right,
Mm.
and even on the functional testing side. Yeah.
On everything QA, I would say probably not that much an exploratory or manual. But even there, I have seen situations that when the manual or exploratory tester knows what is happening in the back or under the hood, can like, oh, this is failing probably is because of the, oh yes, it's because of this, and give a better diagnose, or at the very least log a better defect on their Jira platforms and all of those things,
Yeah,
right?
it makes you a better troubleshooter. Knowing the system and knowing the code that runs it definitely makes you a better engineer
Mhm.
overall, right? Whether you're wearing a QA hat or you're wearing a development hat. For sure.
And giving you an opportunity, saying that you need people, Hexaware needs people, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Look me up on LinkedIn. We definitely look partner with people. We're a people centric company. Human capital is our
Oh
biggest
yeah.
asset, and so we're always looking for people. We're looking for talented people. We're looking for people who have a love of learning, people who want to improve themselves and always learn, and don't always necessarily want to wear the same hat throughout their careers. Come talk to us. We're a great
Yeah.
employer.
Multi-purpose or capacity people. I think that's a big one in the your resume or your LinkedIn profile. And is it still hexaware.com?
It is hexawear.com still. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure over there in the page you have a jobs or career section. People
Yeah,
can go
please,
and take a
please,
look.
take a look at our openings if you're interested in engaging with top tier customers at a company that's aggressive about its employees succeeding and learning. Yeah, look us up. Definitely hexaware.com.
Look for it. There are lots of opportunities, lots of needs of people, and that goes hand in hand, if my experience serves well, with some travel and meeting places. So
All around the world. We have presence in every continent. And now that we're coming out of this work from home mode of that the pandemic forced us to be in, the rhythm is definitely picking up, and we're seeing more and more of in-person engagement with customers. So travel is slowly moving back to previous levels. So yeah.
as much as the remote meeting and the Zoom stockholders want to promote the remote work, I think we will never get rid of it. There are some things that have to be always in person and have the human touch,
Yeah,
right?
and I think that's a good point. I think we have customers in every industry, and there's a varied approach to coming back to the office, right? So, I think everybody today is in a hybrid mode in terms of requiring a few days a week, but humans are social beings. We need human contact, right? So some of the creative work, some of the design work. Some of the backlog grooming, and sprint planning happens in person, and we're seeing our customers. We're sort of adopting that rhythm today ourselves, and we're just mirroring what we see our customers do, because I miss
To
this,
keep
right?
up with the requirements. And
I need human engagement to thrive both personally and professionally. Yeah.
yeah, and ramping down a little bit, pun intended, I want to go to the performance aspect. What are you seeing in the market that is most requested lately in the performance testing?
I think that e- engaging, I'm sort of influenced by some of the things that you talked about
Oh,
in your
sorry.
talk earlier. So I'm trying to remain objective over this. But a lot of the customer demands haven't changed, right? In terms of why are we doing this at the tail end? Regardless of development methodology, even with DevOps, right? At the planning stage, like you said, why aren't we instrumenting at the development level, right?
Hmm.
Why don't we have readings prior to the functionality or a feature, making it even down to lower environments, right? Why aren't we testing at the unit level for performance, right? Why are we instrumenting a developer's VM or desktop, right, wherever they're
Hmm.
developing, to figure out, shift left on quality, man. I mean, shift left on performance as well, right? Do it at the beginning. Figure out if there's any performance concerns prior to them arriving at higher environments as you move inch closer and closer to production. So definitely, I think every accuracy comes from the project management office, right? A lot of the
Hmm.
demands say, hey, what about performance? Why are we thinking about performance? And this goes for cloud centric engagements as well, right? Just because it's in the cloud doesn't mean that it's going to be performant, according
Always
to spec,
performance.
right? Yeah.
It's have you had any experience with a customer that sees the cloud bill not paying attention to performance?
Yes. Yeah. We can't mention
Yeah, I mean,
customer
NDA
names, but
situation.
yeah. I mean, definitely. Everything from even performance tests going and
Too
tacking up the
hard.
bill, right? Going too hard, unnecessarily so, right?
Yeah.
Probably not needing to do so. So, right, the commoditization of computing definitely has its dangers when you're giving free range in terms of ramping up load generation, for example, right?
Free range
Yeah,
and free use of the corporate credit
right,
card, and that's
right,
where it's totally being felt and noticed.
right.
I'm super happy to know that you having the pulse on the market and what is happening in the industry and all these um, corporate situations with all the customers that you deal, that you see what we are trying to help people and improve.
Yeah, some of the infrastructure and the way that we bring applications to productions may have changed, right? But the concerns with performance, right, are still the same, right? I
Mm.
mean, and this goes whether or not your users are public internet facing
Hmm.
users, right? Consumer app type users, or even your internal customers. There's a high degree of correlation with unhappy employees lead to unhappy results financially, right? So if you say, yeah, this doesn't apply to me because my products are all internal, your employees, users of your internet, users of your internal applications are also your customers, right? So their happiness is paramount, and the performance of the applications that they use on a daily basis also very important.
And
So
their
keep that in mind.
productivity. You do that investment to increase their productivity. They are not productive. They are sad. They are depressed. They even leave the company. That's a big impact. But amigo Eddie, being a bit respectful with your time, where can people reach you out, follow up, or even send you the resumes?
Sure. Look us up, hexawear.com. You can reach out to us. You can write to info@hexawear.com and forward your resume there. You're happy to reference my name in there. My name is Eddie Urenda. And we're always looking for talent, both in development, in testing, in data, along all of our service lines. So read up on hexaware.com if you're interested. We'd love to have you.
Awesome. Say pay attention, send everything, and say that you saw our amigo Eddie here at Star West, rocking it and giving all the information needed for you to contribute to the company or to become a better tester. Everyone, thank you very much. Stay tuned. We're about to start a walk into the conference room, no, expo room. Stay tuned. Thank you very much, amigo Eddie.
Señor, por
Thank
favor.
you so much
Thanks for having
for
me.
coming here, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, everyone.
Adios.
Adios.